You are sitting in a sedan, parked out of sight on a street corner in Vienna. Rain batters the roof, creating a layer of white noise that swallows the sound of your breathing. The wipers sluggishly clear the heavy rain from the windshield. Swish. Swish. You tap your index finger lightly against the steering wheel, counting every second. Your eyes are glued to the rearview mirror. An operational logbook rests open on your lap. Target coordinates. License plate. Movement schedule. You are 28 years old, forged in the most elite forces, a veteran of life and death missions, and a notorious sniper from the crucible of Afghanistan. The earpiece suddenly shrieks with piercing static. The plan is blown. The advanced scout team has been compromised. Your teammates are pinned down on the third floor of the red brick building across the street. Gunfire erupts, tearing through the rain. The order from command echoes coldly in your ear. Hold your position. Await the extraction team. Do not engage. You check your watch. Extraction is 12 minutes out. Your team only has enough ammo for 3. You turn the key, killing the engine. You pull out the earpiece and toss it onto the passenger seat. You step out of the car. The toes of your boots glide over the soaked asphalt without making a sound. Your Glock 19 is already chambered. You circle to the back alley and haul yourself up a rusted drain pipe. Reaching the third-floor windowsill, you smash the glass and toss in a smoke grenade. Thick white smoke billows. Violent coughing ensues. You breach, taking down 2 hostiles with precision shots to the chest. You grab the collar of your blood-soaked teammate, dragging him out to the fire escape. Enemies swarm out, firing in pursuit. Bullets shatter the brick wall mere inches from your back. You shove him down the stairs into cover, stepping back to return fire and suppress their advance. 15 minutes later, inside the agency's ambulance, your teammate clings to life, breathing through an oxygen mask. Mission accomplished. No friendly casualties. But 3 days later, you are standing in a hearing room, windowless, furnished only with a single table and security cameras. The commanding officer slams a file onto the table. He spits out the words, insubordination, direct violation of orders. You stand at attention, your face completely stoic. He opens the door and leaves. Another man, wearing a gray suit, enters through a side door. He looks at you. You didn't follow orders, but you brought our man home, he says, his voice flat. We need people who know when to tear up the rule book. It is an invitation. He slides a piece of paper across the table. An offer to join a unit with no name, no public record, one that simply does not exist. You stare at the blank space at the bottom. You have nothing holding you back. You pick up the pen. The nib presses hard into the paper. You sign. The moment the pen lifts, your entire life is officially sealed. Name, rank, identity, all gone. You vaporize from the world. There is no welcoming committee. A black canvas bag is shoved over your head. They bundle you into a waiting, idling vehicle. The violently jarring ride lasts for hours. Screech. The sound of iron hinges grinding together. The hood is yanked off. You squint, your pupils spasming from the glare. You are sitting on a metal chair in the middle of a stark white subterranean room. There is no concept of day or night. They strip you of every personal belonging. They don't say much. After tonight, you are no longer you. You are now LI 103. Tomorrow, training begins. That is all. And you are dropped straight into London. This training isn't on a firing range or in a facility. They throw you onto the bustling streets. The first test. Your mission is to tail a target through the rushing crowds. You glide along, maintaining a perfect 15-meter distance, utilizing every blind spot, absolutely controlling your lines of sight. Every military skill is deployed. You believe you are invisible. But at the third intersection, the target halts abruptly. He pivots, weaves through the crowd, and looks you dead in the eye. His gaze pierces your cover, catching you red-handed in the rigid posture and instinctual vigilance you hadn't yet learned to suppress. A lifeless beep sounds in your earpiece. Test over. You failed. In the debriefing room, the instructor throws a stack of surveillance photos of you onto the table. You're too perfect, he snaps. Your back is too straight. Your stride is too even. Your eyes scan the crowd like a radar dish. You are a wolf walking among sheep, and a wolf always stands out. You have to learn to be a sheep. The pride of an elite soldier is broken. You start over. Age 30. The following week, another test. You play the role of a passerby, Another trainee is executing a tailing exam. Suddenly, you realize the trainee has walked into a trap. The simulated enemy has spotted him and is closing the net. If he is caught, the cover of the entire training program risks being blown. The rule is no interference. You take a deep breath. You lunge forward, swinging your arm to knock over a waiter's tray of coffee at a sidewalk cafe. Cups shatter. Hot coffee splashes directly onto a burly man's coat. You yell, playing the part of an obnoxious drunk. A crowd gathers. The attention of the pursuers is entirely sucked into the commotion. In those 3 seconds of chaos, the other trainee manages to back into an alley and vanish. You are handcuffed and hauled away by local police. That evening, in a holding cell, the man in the gray suit appears. He looks at you for a long time. You broke the rules again. You compromised yourself. You remain silent, your gaze unwavering. But, he exhales, you know how to sacrifice the individual to protect the agency's assets. You know your priorities. You learn to rebuild yourself. You learn to walk with a slight slouch. Learn to soften your gaze to avoid drawing attention. Learn to wear your clothes a little rumpled. You cultivate the habit of buying the newspaper, but only reading the sports section. Age 32. The final survival test. A simulation room. Without warning, ear-splitting sirens blare. Red lights flash frantically. The doors are deadbolted. From the vents, tear gas sprays out in thick white clouds. The crowd of trainees panics. They scream, cover their faces, and shove each other in a scramble for an exit. They batter the doors. You stand still. You close your eyes. Relax your shoulder muscles. Force your breathing to become slower, shallower. You retreat into a dark corner, blending into the wall. You don't react. You don't resist. In a panic, things that move are the first things targeted. The gas makes your eyes stream and burns your throat, but you do not cough. You turn to stone. 10 minutes later, the doors burst open. The other trainees are sprawled on the floor, vomiting or unconscious. You are the only one left standing, quietly walking out of the room. You have completed the training. Age 35. The suffocating heat of North Africa blasts your face. The air is thick with the scent of dust, anise, and cinnamon. You wear a faded shirt, posing as an agricultural buyer. You rent a seedy room overlooking a bustling market. Through a slit in the curtains, you press binoculars to your eyes. The target is a local smuggler. But tonight, something is off. He isn't moving drugs. Heavy wooden crates are being unloaded from a truck into a basement. The depression of the tires indicates massive weight. Weapons. Standard operating procedure. Report immediately. Call in a strike team for an airstrike or a raid. Your hand rests on the encrypted satellite button, but you pause. The faces of the receivers aren't those of ragtag insurgents. They are in neat tactical gear, moving with military discipline. This is no small splinter group. You take your hand off the button. You choose silence. The next 3 weeks are lived in absolute stealth. You tail every convoy, memorize every license plate, scavenge every piece of trash they discard. You map out a massive network, stretching from North Africa all the way to Eastern Europe. When you finally submit your report to headquarters, you don't hand over a single target. You hand over an entire terrorist ecosystem. The subsequent sweep dismantles the entire syndicate. The agency looks at you with new eyes. You are granted field autonomy. Power begins to take shape. Age 37. The stench of blood and mildew mingles in the basement of an abandoned apartment complex. A rescue mission for the family of a high-value intelligence asset. Everything must be done in silence. You take point, weapon tight to your shoulder. The support squad covers your 6. The target's wife and child are huddled together in a dark corner. As you approach, the little girl about 6 years old sees your pitch-black gas mask and the menacing gun in your hands. Her eyes widen in terror. Her mouth drops open. A blood-curdling scream is about to tear from her throat, a sound loud enough to bring every guard from upstairs crashing down on you. Your teammate raises a tranquilizer gun. You swat his barrel down. You drop to one knee and rip the hideous mask off your face. You look directly into the child's eyes. Your eyes are serene, devoid of any killing intent. You extend your bare hand, stripped of its tactical glove, and gently press it against her cheek. Your breathing is slow and steady. You channel your calm into her trembling body. The girl closes her mouth. She clings to your finger, whimpering silently. You scoop her up. The rescue team extracts safely without firing a single shot. You saved the squad from exposure. From that day on, files stamped highly sensitive missions requiring extreme psychological control consistently land on your desk. Age 39. Invisible power comes with internal decay. You sit before 3 massive monitors in a pitch-black operations room. You no longer track targets using facial recognition. You look for absences, a void in the traffic data stream, a dormant bank account that still faithfully pays the electricity bill for an abandoned compound. You lock onto the target's coordinates, a radical leader in hiding. A drone circles at 20,000 feet. Infrared imagery beams back to your screen. A large heat signature moves across the courtyard. You pick up the encrypted phone. Target confirmed. Prep for airstrike. At that exact moment, the satellite runs another sweep. From inside the house, 3 tiny heat signatures rush out into the yard, circling the large one. Children. The drone operator hesitates on the comms. Requesting orders. Risk of civilian collateral. You look at the 3 tiny heat signatures. The memory of the little girl from years ago flashes and is instantly extinguished. Everything inside you is now sealed in a membrane of cold detachment. If this man lives, hundreds will die in a subway station tomorrow. You no longer see human beings. You only see a mathematical equation. Proceed. Your voice is flat, without a single ripple of emotion. The screen flashes a blinding white. The large heat signature and the 3 small ones vanish. You executed the mission flawlessly. You are promoted to the highest clearance level. But as you step out of ops and stand under an icy shower, you realize you feel no guilt. You are not sad. You are not happy. Sensation is dead. The human part of you has been stripped away entirely. Only the machine remains. Age 42. You live in the city like a ghost dissolving into the fog. You wear a generic turtleneck sweater, carrying groceries home from the supermarket. But you know the cashier just fought with his wife by the way he slammed the cash register drawer. You know a pickpocket is working the meat aisle. You calculate the reflection angles of the convex mirrors on the ceiling. You live a normal life, but your brain never stops analyzing threats. You have no friends. No one knows your real phone number. In the afternoon, you sit at a sidewalk cafe. A light drizzle falls. The wipers of passing cars swish back and forth against their windshields. A young man walks into the cafe. He orders an iced black coffee. He chooses a corner seat, his back to the wall. His eyes quickly sweep the 3 exits. His hands rest loosely under the table. You watch him, and you see yourself 14 years ago in Vienna. A rookie, a newly assembled machine. But he is making mistakes. He is too rigid. He is too perfect. Your eyes flick briefly through the glass window. Across the street, a man in a long coat stands smoking, his eyes fixed on the cafe. The rookie is being tailed. His cover is blown, and he has no idea. It would only take one move. You could stand up, walk past his table, deliberately stumble against his chair, and whisper a warning codename. You could pull him out of this quagmire. Your finger lightly traces the rim of your warm coffee cup. You look at the young man. It's the agency's cruel loop. The organization needs meat for the grinder to keep the machine running. If he doesn't realize it himself, he will die. That is the rule. You slowly retract your hand. You lift the cup to your lips. The bitter liquid slides down your throat. You turn your face away, staring out into the rain. You choose to do nothing. You leave him to face his fate. Age 45. Everything has sunk into silence. You have a small house in the suburbs, a mundane administrative desk job to blind the world. Your neighbors think you are a sullen but harmless widower. In the mornings, you water the plants on your porch. But behind the polite smile and nod to the old woman walking her dog, your eyes are still measuring the distance from her house to the fire hydrant. You are still calculating response times if that postal truck turns out to be a suicide bomber. You cannot stop. You lock your door and step onto the street. You blend into the crowded rush of morning commuters. Umbrellas of every color pop open, obscuring the view. You weave through shoulders, your footsteps falling perfectly into rhythm with the crowd, not too fast, not too slow. Only seconds later, if a camera were to pan across that block, it would be unable to find you. You do not leave a heavy footprint. You do not collide. You are invisible in broad daylight. No name, no past, no identity. You have truly become a non-existent void.